Jordan Williams from St. Albans, Queens is now over. Williams was arrested and charged with manslaughter for stabbing 36-year-old Victor Udrago to death on a J train in Brooklyn 2 weeks ago. From the beginning, Williams said he acted in self-defense.
I was scared in that situation.
All right, in the aftermath of the Daniel Penny incident, a lot of people ask, well, what if Daniel Penny, the white guy, happened to be black? Well, we have the answer to that because this is Jordan Williams, not Neely, but Jordan Williams. Now, Jordan Williams was riding the train and insane, crazy person came on the train and Mr. Williams stabbed him to death in quote-unquote self-defense. But we'll see how that case was handled differently than the case of Daniel Penny.
I want to talk about my 30-year-old brother, Jordan Neely, homeless, hungry, and mentally ill, who got choked out on the subway by another white, racist, ex-military cutout. See, Dred Scott, 1857, told us to do. Dred Scott, 1857, told us to do. Dred Scott, 1857, Supreme Court Chief Justice Roger B. Taney said the black man has no rights. Supreme Court Chief Justice Roger B. Taney, Dred Scott, 1857, said the black man has no rights that the white man is bound to respect. Dred Scott is still alive and well. Constitutional scholars claim that the 14th Amendment invalidated the Dred Scott decision. Constitutional scholars claim that the 14th Amendment invalidated the Dred Scott decision. Constitutional scholars claim that the 14th Amendment invalidated the Dred Scott decision. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. So our brother Jordan Neely is on the subway, begging for food because the man is hungry. Begging for food because the man is hungry. I have to say shame on any African who was on that damn subway, who heard that brother begging for food and couldn't share yours or give him $1 or $2. I said, if there was any African on that damn train who saw that young 30-year-old brother begging for food, if you was on that train and you heard that brother begging for food, and none of you New York City ninjas on that train, I'm not talking about my New York family. I'm just talking about the ninjas who was on that train car. I'm not talking about my New York City family. They ride or die. But I'm talking about those few Africans who was on that train who heard that 30-year-old young man begging for food and you didn't give him none. You knew who he was. You seen him do the Michael Jackson impersonation time and time again. All he wanted was some food. Y'all couldn't give him no food. But black women spending $30 billion on hair and beauty, but you ain't got a few dollars to give a brother a meal. Black men spending untold millions of dollars on these snow bunny women, but you ain't got a few dollars for brother Jordan to get some food. 30 years old. And then this white man takes it upon himself to take his life. I don't know if y'all know this, but white men have this unspoken goal of taking a black life. White men have an unspoken goal of taking a black life. I said white men have an unspoken goal of taking a white life. He put that brother in a chokehold. He suffocated him intentionally. That man is a trained ex-military cutout. That man is a trained ex-military cutout. That man is a trained ex-military cutout. You put him in a chokehold, knowing damn well he would die. We just seen George Floyd all over again, subway version. In fact, this is George Floyd meets Trayvon Martin. See, this is George Floyd meets Trayvon Martin. Rest in peace to both of those brothers. And the reason this is George Floyd meets Trayvon Martin, the reason this is George Floyd meets Trayvon Martin, is due to the fact that Trayvon Martin was also by white vigilante justice. I said Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was also by white vigilante justice. Trayvon Martin was also by white vigilante justice. So this is George Floyd, choked out. Trayvon Martin, white vigilante justice. This is George Floyd, choked out. Trayvon Martin, white vigilante justice. And let me talk about the mayor of New York City. Can we talk about the response by the mayor of New York City? Where my New York City Africans at? I gotta ask y'all a question. Where my New York City Africans at? I gotta ask y'all a question one time. I'm talking to Staten Island. I'm talking to Queens. I'm talking to the Bronx. I'm talking to Brooklyn. And I'm talking to my Harlem Africans. I said I gotta ask this question of my Bronx Africans, my Brooklyn Africans, my Queens Africans, my Staten Island Africans, and my Harlem Africans. Can somebody tell me why the African family of New York City? Can somebody tell me why the African family of New York City elected a former police to be mayor of the largest city in America? I need New York City to answer me. I need New York City. Why did y'all put an officer who decided that a black cop would be in the best interest of the future of New York City? Somebody got to answer this. I need some answers, New York City. I need some answers, New York City. Why did we decide to elect a cop to become mayor? And to top it all off, Eric Adams is another Democratic Party plantation slave. Lord have mercy. Why do we keep running in circles? Why do we keep committing the same mistakes over and over again? Why do we keep on allowing the same offenses against African people to be repeated time in and time out? Why did y'all vote for Eric Adams? Oh, I know why. Because he was black. I get it. The Barack Obama syndrome. The Barack Obama syndrome. He's black. He must automatically do a better job than the whites. He's black. He must automatically do a better job than the whites. New York City, why did y'all put a black cop in the mayor's office? I'm not disrespecting black police. I know a lot of black police who love black people. But for Eric Adams to get where he is, you know damn well he's in the front pocket and the back pocket. For Eric Adams to get where he is, you know damn well he's in the front pocket and the back pocket of the Fraternal Order of Police. He's in the front pocket and the back pocket of the Fraternal Order of Police. You must want to go to the block party. Let me get on back to this African Eric Adams, this Democratic Party plantation slave. This Negro had the nerve to say that we are not going to take any action on the white man. We're not going to take any action on the white man until we conduct an investigation. We must stay focused. Eric Adams said we are not going to take any action until we conduct an investigation to see if our brother was choked out justifiably. The African mayor of New York City said we are not going to do any actions. Nobody's getting arrested. Nobody's being charged. Nobody's being indicted. Nobody's going to jail until we do an investigation to see if the choke was justifiable, brothers and sisters. Did you not see the video? Did African mayor of New York City not see the video? Did Mayor Eric Adams not see the video, brothers and sisters? Did he not? Because I'm trying to understand how a white man chokeholds a black man in New York City subway and no black people intervene. If memory serves me correctly, it looked like there was black men assisting the white man restrain this 30-year-old harmless brother. Did y'all see what I saw? Did I get that right? Did I get that right, brothers and sisters? I need somebody to give me an ashe or an okay. Give me an ashe or an okay. Did I see Negropeans aiding that neo-Neanderthal as he choked out our brother? I could have sworn I saw brothers helping the Caucasian suck the life out of the African. Am I wrong, brothers and sisters? It doesn't look like I saw anybody tell him to stop. If I'm wrong, tell me. Did anybody tell him to let him go? If I didn't know no better, that looked like white Jesus and his people of color disciples. If I didn't know any better, that looked like white Jesus on the floor, on the cross, choking out the black man with his so-called people of color disciples with him. You mean to tell me black people stood there and watched that white man choke out a 30-year-old boy? Brothers and sisters, insane. Eric Adams said, we got to do an investigation. What is there to investigate? What is there to investigate, Africa? Brothers and sisters, you saw the video. What does Mayor Eric Adams have to investigate? Can somebody help me out? Can somebody help me out? Oh, I know what this is about. This is about white privilege. White privilege, white male privilege, white male veteran privilege. That's what this is about. White male veteran privilege. Because he is a veteran of the armed forces, he has the right to black males. So Eric Adams, police officer, Africa, is going to look for a loophole that allows this privileged white Neanderthal to get away with cold-blooded in broad daylight. I said your democratically elected plantation slave of a mayor is working with the police and the white power structure to look for a loophole in the law that would allow them to hold that white man harmless for unjustifiably choking out the life of a black man in broad daylight. Eric Adams is a cop first. He's not black first. Adams is a cop first. He's not black first. Eric Adams is a cop first. He's not black first. And that under the Patriot Act of George W. Bush. Under the Patriot Act of George W. Bush. Under the Patriot Act of George W. Bush, the police and the military are all part of the same anti-African machine. Under the Patriot Act of George W. Bush, the police and the military are all part of the same anti-African machine. Oh, yes. So Eric Adams has a professional and personal obligation to protect his white brother in arms. Oh, yes, brothers and sisters. Eric Adams has a personal obligation. As a member of the Fraternal Order of Police, he's obligated to defend that white man from any incrimination for unjustifiably taking that boy's life because he wanted something to eat. And nobody black on the train cared enough to give the young man something to eat. Listen, I don't claim to be no great Samaritan. I don't claim to be no good Samaritan. I don't claim to be no ordinary Samaritan. My life's work is saving African children. But whenever I go past a homeless African, 99% of the time, 99% of the time when I go past one of our people who are homeless, I'm going to pass them $1 or $5 or $10 or $20. I cannot walk past an African in need. I can't do that. When I'm at the gas station and I see the young brother selling quarter waters or the young sisters pumping gas I got to throw him a couple dollars. That's the least I can do. Who am I if I can't give a little something to the least of us financially, brothers and sisters? If I was on that train, I would have gave that brother a couple dollars. He was only hungry. Some of y'all probably had McDonald's you could have passed off. You bougie ass vegans. Y'all probably had a meal. You bougie ass vegans. You had your vegan meal. You could have done without that green smoothie. You could have gave him your portobello mushroom sandwich. Brother needed food. Negroes don't want to feed their brother, so we let the white man choke him out. Brothers needed food. Negroes didn't want to help their brother, so we let the Neo-Neanderthal choke him on out. Eric Adams got to do an investigation. Can I ask y'all a question? Because a lot of you multiculturalists don't believe this is about race. So let me ask you a racial question. A lot of you neo-Negroes don't think this is about race. So let me ask you a racial question. Can I ask you a racial question? I'm going to ask you a racial question. I'm going to ask you a racial question. Can I ask you a racial question? If our brother was white and that military veteran was black, does he get a pass? Let's talk about some racial political science. I'm going to ask y'all again. I'm talking to the multiculturalists. I'm talking to if that brother who got choked out, our 30-year-old brother, if he was white and he was choked out by a black veteran of the military, where do you think that black veteran would be right now? Where do you think that black veteran would be right now, brothers and sisters? Hold on. I'm not done with y'all yet. Hold on. I'm not done with y'all yet. I'm just asking a question, brothers and sisters. If that brother was Caucasian, if he was Caucasian and he got choked out by an African veteran, would he be in jail or not? That's the question.